Hello everyone, George here, Catholic Positive Energy. Sorry I couldn't come on yesterday. I had a lot of reading and I took one of my best friends out to dinner last night for his birthday. So that was a lot of fun being able to catch up with him. Today's broadcast is what is true perfection? Now, what do I mean by that? This is what I mean. Now I'm sure many of you have heard the expression, nobody's perfect, or there's no such thing as a perfect life. Life doesn't need to be perfect, never will be perfect, until we are in heaven with our Lord Jesus Christ. And I find that to be a very true statement. There is no such thing as perfect. I mean, think about it for a second. Let's say you know somebody, or maybe you are that somebody. Let's say you know somebody who has it all, who has everything somebody could possibly need to make one happy. Let's say you know somebody who's got a great career and they're making a very good living, making a lot of money, they get to travel, live in a nice big beautiful mansion of a house, they have a wonderful spouse who's really good looking and really wonderful, got a lot of kids, maybe they have some nice cars. Now, some of you, or some of the really young people out there who are listening to me might think, oh, those people have a perfect life. Well, that's not always the case. I've actually spoken to some people. I've been friends over the years with some really wonderful people, and I've said to them, you know what? Life is just perfect for you. And you know what these people always say to me? You're going to love this. You know what they always say to me? Yeah, for people who look at it from an outsider's perspective, you're looking at these people who have a happy life and you think that life is perfect, and they will always tell you, no, it's not. My life isn't perfect. I understand why you or other people out there might feel that way, but no, my life is not perfect. Because everybody has their share of problems, of drama, of negative energy. It's everywhere, unfortunately. That's why I try to extinguish it with my channel here. Even people out there who you see who might be living a fairy tale life, their lives are not perfect either. Now, some of you, let's say you're working really hard hoping to get certain things that you don't have yet, and that's good. And you're probably thinking to yourselves that your lives are not perfect. Well, I'm here to set you straight, and I'm here to be 100% honest and blunt. I wouldn't say blunt as a spoon, but I'm here to be honest and to just say, life is never going to be perfect for anybody. You're never going to have everything that you want. I'll use myself as an example. I love doing this. Now, over the years, like within the last 4 years, I have had a lot of very good, wonderful things happen in my life. And these are things that do not happen to a lot of other people. Okay? 4 years ago, I won a car in a car raffle at church at St. Francis of Rome in Wildemar. And shortly before that, I won $1,000 on Publishers Clearinghouse. And there were people saying to me on Facebook and some of my family members saying, oh my gosh, you're on a roll, you're lucky. Well, I mean, that's true to a certain extent, yes. I was lucky. I don't know if I'd say I'm on a roll, but I was definitely grateful for those things. In 2019, I was able to buy this house that you see me in, became a homeowner. I got 2 jobs, so I'm doing a little bit better. It could still be a lot better than this. And in 2020, I was able to finally pursue graduate school because I waited a long time just to be able to go to grad school because it costs money and there's a lot of time involved. I'm very blessed that I'm finally pursuing what I really want to do with my life. And there was also, I think sometime back in about 2020, before grad school, this company I used to work for, I won an Xbox One gaming console for perfect attendance, and I'm still trying to figure out how to use that thing. And several months ago in April, on my dad's birthday, I treated him to lunch, and we were at this shopping mall, and I found a $100 bill on the ground, and it was real. It was not fake. I swear it was real. So after hearing me tell you about some of these wonderful experiences I've had in my life in recent years, some of you are probably going, wow, none of this stuff ever happens to me. I mean, a lot, especially the winning a car. That doesn't happen to a lot of people. And I've had a lot of people tell me, and I'm not trying to show off or toot my own horn. I'm not doing that. See, I got a friend here, Guy Joseph Raby. Good afternoon. Well, good afternoon, Guy. I hope you stick around, watch the whole broadcast. Hope you get to watch it from the beginning a little later. So, now normally I have a lot of people who I know, even people in church, who tell me, George, you're the only guy I know who has ever won a car. And I'll admit that doesn't happen to very many people. We wish it would happen to all of us. I was very grateful for that, and I always will be. I'll keep that car until it's no longer running. I'm going to ride it until the wheels fall off. And so what I'm saying is, in my family, on both sides of my family, nobody has ever won a car. Now, some of you are probably thinking that my life is perfect, or life has treated me better than some other people. Now, listen, I've had my fair share of horrible days, and horrible experiences, and trauma, and a very overwhelmingly amount of negative energy. Oh, trust me, I've had so much negative energy in my life, it's not even funny. But it wasn't until I met my dear friend Holly where I started embracing the concept of positive energy, and always will for the rest of my life, where I truly understand more about life and how to live one's life, regardless of what negative things are going on around us. So basically the point is, no matter how wonderful you see other people's lives are going, no matter how happy they may be, if they have some wonderful things that you may not, a spouse or a lot of kids, nice house, great career, lots of money, or whatever, island in the Bahamas. Just because you see these people may be happy and may brag about some of the wonderful things they have does not mean that their lives are perfect. And I guarantee you, if you talk to them, hopefully privately, normally people don't say this publicly, they will tell you that their lives are not perfect, and there are still a lot of things in their lives that they have to deal with that they wish they didn't have to. And here's another thing. I remember several years ago, I had a spiritual director, priest at church. God rest his soul, God bless him. I won't mention his name. I once said to him, see, I was much younger and naive back then, and I said to him, well, I mean, you chose this life, so I'm sure that you must be very happy and satisfied with the way your life is, both professionally, personally, spiritually. And he even said to me, and like I say, I'm not bad-mouthing priests, I'm not bad-mouthing the church. He said this to me, and I couldn't believe it. He was obviously talking to me as a priest, but also just as a person. And he said, yes, I did choose the priesthood, but I mean, you think I like to get up early in the morning and say Mass every day? There are times I want to sleep in. And I thought, oh, wow. He didn't say that he wishes he never became a priest. He was just saying there are times he wishes he could sleep in. Because a lot of priests, they have to get up early and say Mass and do a lot of other things for the church. Once in a while, maybe they'll be able to sleep in, but not very much. But I'm not bad-mouthing priests or the church. Just want to make that perfectly clear. So I was shocked. Because I figured if you're someone who chooses the priesthood or religious life, you already know that you're giving up marriage and you're giving up kids and you're giving yourself freely to the church. That's your number one commitment. And I figured that the people who stay there are satisfied to an extent because they knew what they were getting into and they chose that life voluntarily. But there are also some things that come with that are not always fun. You think that life will be perfect for some people because they chose something and they stay there and they keep showing up to work every day. That doesn't mean that their lives are perfect. So, and like I say, some of the things that I just named to you that have happened in my life in recent years, you may think my life is perfect. And for those of you who know me better, you should know that, no, my life is not perfect. I am very grateful and I am very happy for the things that I have and for hopefully more good things that are to come in my life. But I'll tell you this. Even if I were to win the lottery, and let's say I won $1 trillion, I was set for life and I never had to work again. Oh yeah, I would be happy, but here's the thing. My life would not be perfect because I know I would still have a share of problems just like everyone else has. I'd probably have people stalking me because they want to steal money from me. I'd probably have people trying to sue me just so they could get money out of me. You know, there's lots of ridiculous lawsuits that happen out there in the world nowadays. I'll just leave it at that. And I'd probably have also people coming up to me asking for money. I once had somebody tell me, you're going to have family members that you never knew you had who are not even really related to you if you win the lottery. I'm sure that's true. I just hope that doesn't happen to me, but God forbid. But like I say, I could have all the treasures in the world and my life would not be perfect. Life will never be perfect here on earth. Now, hopefully, just because I say that, please don't misunderstand me. Hopefully, even though life can never be perfect, that doesn't mean that we cannot be happy. That doesn't mean we can't be as happy can possibly be, or as positive can possibly be. We can still be happy, we can still be positive, and hopefully satisfied enough with our lives where we are right now. We can be happy that we have a home, family members. I mean, if you are someone who's married, treasure your spouse and your children. Or even if you're not, hopefully you'll find a lot of other things in your life that will still keep you happy and sane to an extent where you're not totally miserable. You'll have dear friends, dear family members. Hopefully you have an amazing job and you're making a dang good living, and hopefully you have other things in your life that make you very happy, even if that means that you have to go out of your way to find something like joining a bowling league, gardening, martial arts, or joining some kind of a club where you meet once a week and you talk about things that you all love. And I mean, for me, I'm very blessed to have, I have like 3 best friends who I know will be there for me and I'm there for them. I took one of them out to dinner last night for his birthday, my buddy Rich. And he's a truck driver, so I don't see him all the time. He's usually in a different state every day. And once in a while, if I have the time to meet him, if he's home, then I'll meet him. But it's wonderful when we do get to talk and we do get to catch up. And we want each other to be happy. I want the best for all of my dear friends, and they want the best for me. And I want the best for each and every one of you watching out there, even though I don't know all of you personally. But I want you to realize something, and you gotta get those thoughts out of your head. If you look at other people who look like they're happy all the time and who look like they're satisfied with the way their lives are, please don't ever say, oh, that person or those people over there, their lives are perfect and mine is not. Don't ever think that way, okay? That's, my friend Holly calls that a comparison mindset, or like the regret game. You're comparing yourself to other people and you're basically saying that your life sucks and their lives are wonderful. But you're not fully aware of all the things that they're going through. They have to deal with their set of problems too, just like everyone else. And I've noticed people out there normally will not talk about their problems all the time. They won't show it through their facial expressions or body language. They don't show it. I mean, me, I'm fairly good at hiding my unhappiness. I'll never forget this one time, and I think I mentioned this here once, years ago. I'll just be very vague. I was really, really upset and devastated about something, and I swear I was about to start crying. It was very devastating. And I remember I was in a crowded place once, and I didn't want anybody else to know what I was going through. I didn't want anybody else to think that I was sad. And I remember I was sitting down, and there's a lot of people walking past me, and I'm just sitting, I got my mouth closed, I'm not talking to anybody or really looking at anybody specifically, I'm just looking at everybody in the room. And I remember I was sitting like this, And there's lots of people walking by me, but they don't even seem to notice anything. They just saw I was sitting there. They didn't realize that I was really devastated and hurting inside. I was able to hide it. I didn't have anybody come up to me and say, "Hey George, what's wrong? Are you okay?" No, nobody did that because I hid it very well. So what I'm saying is, a lot of people do that. Most people normally do not want other people around them to know that they're unhappy, to know that they're in crisis, to know that life sucks for them. Most people do not want other people to know that, and they go out of their way to hide that. And there's probably been times when you've done that yourself. So please, do not compare yourselves to other people and say their lives are perfect, they're living the fairy tale life happily ever after, and I'm not. When's that going to happen to me? Don't do that. All right? That is a form of negative self-talk, because you're talking and basically you're going on and on about some problems you may be having or things that you want to happen in your life that haven't happened yet. You're comparing yourself to other people and you're talking about how much your life sucks. So when you do that, that is a form of negative self-talk, because you're doing it to yourself. Basically, that's the same thing as punching yourself in the face. You're hurting yourself. You're hurting yourself with your own words, and you're becoming your own worst enemy if you do that negative self-talk. And I'm not going to lie to you, sometimes I do that myself for very, very different reasons, completely different situations. It happens from time to time, but I try not to let it overwhelm me. I try to think positive. I know that God's in my back corner. He's got my back. He loves me, cares about me, wants the best for me. And there are certain things that he wants to happen for me that haven't happened yet. So, like I say, I want everybody's takeaway to be this. This will be the last thing I say. I don't want to keep going on and on. Please, never compare yourself to other people or compare other people to other people and say, this person or these people over here, their lives are perfect and my life is not, or my friend or my family member's life is not, and these people over here have everything you could possibly want and I don't and they don't. Don't do that. Okay? That is a very effective way to spread a lot of negative toxic energy. You're spreading it to yourself and to people around you who overhear you talk like that. When people hear you talk like that, people won't even want to be around you. They won't even want to talk to you. That's not a fun conversation. I mean, ask yourself this. If you heard somebody talking like that, the way I was just talking a few seconds ago, would you want to hang out with that person? Would you want to have dinner or lunch with that person? Would you want to have a long conversation with that person? You'd probably end the conversation and walk away from them as quickly as you could because you didn't like to hear their negative self-talk. So anyways, like I say, please let that be your takeaway. I want to ask everyone to please continue to pray for me. Grad school's getting busy again. I've got a lot to learn and a lot to work on. But please keep me in your prayers, and we'll have our prayer and meditation broadcast next week, and obviously I will be praying for all of you. So please take care. God bless. Please share the YouTube channel with everybody, and please remember, dignification is better than criticism.